Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us so late tonight. Uh, y'all are gonna have to get over the no camera. I can't do it tonight. Today's been a lazy day. Research, talking to people. Well, I'm gonna say what our research was today. Uh, we pretty much just laid around and did research on our phones, I guess, and just keeping an eye on things and speaking to people and trying to find out, some issues with some big deals that have happened that everybody knows. Thank you all for all being here tonight. I want to apologize to the Glare if he is still live right now. I did not want to mess up his live stream or anything or take away from what he was trying to say. So if he's still live, I apologize.
I have to work tomorrow, so we were trying to hurry and go live.
Yeah.
Before it got way too late. It's already pretty late.
Wow, Rose Lane. Hi, guys. Following you from Tasmania.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's the first time I've seen
you.
that one. Yeah, thanks for. So it's probably daytime where you're at, correct? Probably on the same time schedule as Australia. I'm guessing.
I would have no clue.
You're in the future there too. Well, not right. I guess not right now. It would be the evening time for them of
today.
Of today, whatever today's date is.
No, it's the 10th now.
Okay, so the 10th. So I had some updates. We've spoke to Robin today, and I'm gonna read exactly what she messaged because I am proud that law enforcement did go to her to investigate the situation that happened yesterday with her daughter and being filmed. There's no excuse for that. And
Absolutely not.
And if you saw the thumbnail, I want to share this because I feel like this right here says a lot. And you don't even have to have a, I don't like the label, well, they're religious and they're this and that. It really has nothing, you don't have to be part of a denomination to have a personal relationship with the Lord. And it doesn't have to change what you do and who you are. And if you're a good person, I mean, it does change your actions of what you do in your daily life. But as far as what if you saw the thumbnail, I'm going to share it right now. Because this right here, I believe, says a lot about basically everything. Let me zoom in on that. It's really small. Okay. Can you guys see that? It says integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. Can you pull that up and see if it's showing that? Yeah, I can't see it right now. So, ads, yeah, okay. So, I think this is a big deal, and this will speak a lot. And I'm not going to say no names, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but we know what happened. Everybody knows what happened yesterday at the church, and there's no excuses for it. That little girl could tell that something wasn't right in that situation right there. She I just don't. And then the excuses that were made that I heard, that the little girl was messing with her purse and this and that, just because go ahead and make excuses for that is to already know that you've done something wrong. There's no excuse for saying that a 7-year-old did something or messed in your purse, so you had to pull out a spy pen and record things in a church. That's not right.
Post it online for the whole world to see.
Yeah. So law enforcement did go out to Robin's home today, and they investigated it. Also, I guess the Hills on the Ground group also went out to Robin's house and tried to give a handwritten apology. And Robin did say, I accept her, I forgive her, but I'm still going to, uh, you know, seek charges because what was done was wrong. And just because the backlash of what happened and I guess the followers of that channel weren't accepting of what happened, forced them to go make a handwritten apology and say thank you and film it or whatever. Um, that's not right. You still have to have consequences for what you do.
Yeah.
And by putting that child on YouTube in a true crime community in a case this big is potentially putting that child in harm's way. I don't care, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're putting that child in harm's way. There are people, bad people, that keep an eye on this community and what goes on to keep up with what people know about. That's why it's very good to keep a high standard, keep integrity in what you're doing, and to uh, make sure that you're not putting out anything and think about what you're doing it before you do it and just throw it on the internet. Uh, I didn't say anything about the things that they tried to do to us personally. I don't care. I have nothing bad. Well, I mean, I have my personal feelings about it. I'm not going to say that. I'd be lying. I was upset. I'm still angry about it.
Me too.
But I still was not going to come on here and bash anybody for it because I would be no better than that person. But when you cross the line of putting a child that young, and not only let's a child that young, I'm just going to say, but not only a child, but one of Summer's friends, personal friends.
Right.
That goes to church with her.
That child has already been through enough because of the fact that she did know Summer and she was friends with Summer. Mm-hmm. And she's already had to deal in the last 7 months or 6.5 months with losing her friend and not understanding that. And that has to be hard for a child. Look at how hard it is for people like us who don't even know Summer, didn't know Summer.
Yeah.
Imagine that little girl.
Every time she goes to church now, she doesn't see her.
Right.
I'm sure the parents don't speak around her about it in detail. So, they just probably tell her, she's not here right now, but she'll be back, and trying to and pray for her and try to be hopeful and positive about the situation. Because let's face it, Miss Robin is a very positive person. She tries to be. I know that this right here affected her big time because out of those same people that did this, also on one of their videos, they stated that Robin didn't even know that's who they were while they were at church.
Right.
And laughed about it. Like, is that what have you done? You've done something real big by fooling a good-hearted person like Robin. And some things have been said about her. She's been under the I guess rumors and speculation like everybody has. And she's continued to stay positive through this whole thing. Because of her, we had so much backlash because of the picture we took. But that woman, of course, I'm going to take a picture with her for her and what she asked me to do, because you could tell that she loved Summer with all her heart. She said my arm would literally feel like it was breaking holding her during church, but she said I did it every Sunday because she wanted to show her love and, just to be a good person and be somebody that Summer looked up to. And if you remember at the beginning of this case, Don said, Summer really admires the pretty lady at church, was his exact words about Robin. So hand me my phone if you don't care. I will read. I'm just going to read what she said word for word because I thought it was powerful. And Robin, I'm
She
sorry.
hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, she did. She did. She said everything that needed to be said tonight when she messaged us. Um, she said yes, and she came to my house with a written apology. But I'm sorry. Still going to press charges if I can. She's not sorry. And she said she is only saying sorry because her own viewers didn't approve of it, and she realized she messed up. And I agreed with her. And Robin, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna, I have to talk about this because we're gonna make sure that everything's done. Because if that was done to one of my children, I would be so upset.
Oh my gosh. And I told Robin this too. I was almost in tears last night when I saw it because all I could picture was that being my own child.
And I respect everybody that was at the vigil we went to.
Oh, I do
We
too.
took our children to that vigil for
The
summer, and
first one.
the first one in Rogersville, and there were cameras out, uh, so many, and people were respectful and didn't put pictures of my children out there. And
And
I'll
thank you to any of you who were there and did see our children and did not put our children out there. We appreciate that so much.
so you know, hold on one second. Sorry, I want to make sure that I read this right. So it was, and that's the first place that we actually first met Robin, was at that vigil, and she was so respectful, to us, and was very welcoming to us, and we became friends with her, and we'll continue. We've made some very good friendships with people through this, and we've been there, talked to people, seen them, and have been very respectful of their personal lives, because a lot of these people that are coming into town don't take into account that these people do have jobs. Just because this case happened 6.5 months ago, almost 7 months ago, um, life continues for people, and they still have to go work. And people that are coming in town wanting interviews and stuff like that, they gotta take into account that other people still have things to do, and it doesn't always work out. Um, we can't just be down there, all the time throwing cameras in people's faces and doing that. Not like we do that anyway, but there's and we get a lot of backlash because we haven't thrown cameras in people's faces and stuff. But that, it's okay. Again, I'll keep integrity with everything that we do. But she says this was the last thing Robin said on to us. And again, Robin, I apologize, but this was so good. She said, if we allow our children to be exploited like this and did nothing to defend them, it's almost like saying it's okay. I mean, what kind of parents would we be? I forgive her, but there are consequences, and don't want my children to think it's okay. That right there, I was like, wow,
It's true.
it's very true. Sorry guys, I haven't been looking at the chat at all, so don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm just trying to get my point across about this. Um, I was very upset, and I know a lot of you were. I've been reading, I've been in chats, watching what's been going on, and I do have to say, Crude AF, the Glare, these people are doing a good job. Uh, they are holding people accountable for their actions, and it's needed to be done through this whole case. Uh, and because of people like them stepping in now and doing this, it makes sure that people stay on their P's and Q's about what they're doing. It should have had this, at the get go of this thing, because they, it's necessary. It's a necessary thing. So I'm gonna move on. We'll go back and we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk to you guys in the chat about it. Um, yeah, man. Thank you guys for the support for Robin. I'm reading some of this. Good stuff. Thank you for the mods, guys. I don't give y'all as much credit as y'all deserve. Y'all are so
Awesome.
awesome and do a good job for us, and we appreciate it. Natasha, I'm so glad to see you're back. Diane Harlow, Music City Mom, all you guys. If I've left your name, that Kalea, all of you guys, we really do appreciate what you do for
And
us.
Beach Girl, when you
Beach
see
Girl,
this,
yeah.
I don't think she's on here, but when you see this, I'm sorry I didn't text you and tell you that we were going live, but I was afraid it was too late. I was afraid you'd already be in bed, and I didn't want to wake you up or anything.
Natasha, if you don't care to drop Crude AF's link too, there's the glares. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to him, go check out what he's doing. Go check out what Crude AF's doing. Dumpster Clips.
Did you say the glare?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
That's the few that I've been watching. So there's probably more, and so I don't want to leave anybody out. But yeah, didn't Robin have her child? Okay, I'm sorry if I'm behind. I'm trying to read. Yeah, Robin's going to. I do. I support her, and I will help her in any burnt toast too. Thank you. Yeah, she's good. Uh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Tracy. Miss Tracy, thank you for being a mod. I'm sorry if I've uh Arietti. I'm
Heather.
who?
Blooming
Blooming Heather. There's a lot of you guys that uh anytime that we hop on here, we don't give anybody a heads up. We just
Heather.
we just go on here. Um there's Blooming Heather right there. Uh we don't give anybody heads up about what we're doing. We just hop on here and you guys are here.
Yeah, and usually we don't schedule them very far in advance either, so
Yeah.
so sorry.
Let me see. Yeah, we best believe Ange Carter. I saw your question right here, or your comment. We screen recorded it, and we have it for Robin.
And I do. I told her that I had it if she needed it. She tried to screen record it herself, she said, and she didn't have enough space on her phone, but she told me to hold on to it in case she needs it for anything, and I've got it. So
yeah, and this is not best believe this is not an attack on any other creator. This is this truth. This is the truth, and if nobody can see if somebody can't see what the problem is with doing what they did yesterday, the church has that policy. Lots of churches have that policy in effect for not recording, because unless they record it themselves for their online audiences, for people that can't come to a service.
And we've seen with COVID, there has been a definite increase in the amount of churches that do online services, and they record it for streaming purposes. So.
Right, and even though let's be correct about this, none of them got kicked out. He felt weird. They left because they felt weird because people were looking at them. Well, when you're in there filming and doing nefarious stuff under people's nose trying to hide, people are going to pay attention to you, especially if you're the new person in the church. I've heard other things and rumors, but I'm not going to talk about them because that's just what they are, rumors, and they get twisted and thrown out there. So I'll only talk about things that are 100% proven. Or what I'm going, my next subject, I don't know for a fact yet, but I'm pretty sure, and this is going to be real bad when I tell you guys this, if you don't already know.
I know it's been talked about.
But that church, okay, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I know that the other thing that we're going to talk about has been talked about, but I don't know if everybody has heard about it yet. So
yeah, it's but we're going to get to that. But that church has those rules in effect to protect those people from the things that are happening right now. And there's a difference from a child running in front of a recording, somebody recording by accident, and you catch a glimpse of a child and then straight putting one right in their face for the whole derivative. There was no point to that video except to show that you were sitting beside Robin.
Right.
In that church. I'm sorry.
And the camera was on the little girl the entire time that it was recording them.
And you could tell that the child felt like there was something wrong.
Oh yeah,
or
she was side-eyeing her like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, there and people even come against the church and said, "Why do they have security? Have you people not seen the violence that has happened in churches? People going in and doing, uh, you know, mass." You know what words I'm talking about, to churches and schools.
Well,
And
not only that, but just given everything that has happened with Summer, look at how much scrutiny that church in particular has come under.
oh gosh,
So they probably have people there because of that as well.
yes, and the church was having a community church-wide potluck,
Right.
a dinner for a lot of churches in the South, especially here.
This area, we like to eat
Yeah,
after
as soon as,
church.
and that's probably everywhere, but I'm not for sure. But
Yeah, I know in this area.
in this area, when you get out of church, you're going to eat somewhere, or they're going to have a dinner somewhere, a big dinner. And they probably would have welcomed them if they just acted correctly. But you don't go to a church and say, "Where is Summer Wells?" when they've dealt with this. Like, they've been living this like everybody else in that community has since this has happened. Best believe that people, um, whatever your feelings are about that church or whatever, they're living it. People are living this. People, they. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but I don't want to go too far into that. But oh yeah, that's exactly Ange Carter. That's what I was saying. She wasn't getting into Molly's purse. I heard, that's what I said at the beginning of this. She was not messing with her purse like that little girl. That was just an excuse to already have in place for what she was planning to do. I'm not speaking about the interview that they've already worked, that they have, that they're going to release with Dudley and all that. Um, we'll get into that at a later date, not tonight. I don't know how that's going to go. Um, I just don't understand why now. Why now are the interviews coming out with? Why has he not spoke before? This has been, and I'm not saying he's guilty of anything. I've offered to I would like, I said, if you would like to speak to us, we speak to you, off camera or on. I don't care. Good for them. I'm glad. That's my question from the whole time. Why now? Why the interviews now? It is what it is, though. We're I c- you know I that's I could care less if whatever helps bring this little girl home or answers to this little girl's case. Because how long can this crap go on um, in this community? I was watching another platform today that called to check on, uh, or called to ask about the issues with the filming of the child this morning, and the way that law enforcement replied back to that person, and I was kind of upset about that. But to know that they went after the fact and went out and investigated it and talked to Robin and everything, I'm happy about that. Crime scene photo. Dudley Agent is that's Don's former employee that he fired at the beginning of this. What'd you do? Oh,
I just put the email at the bottom of the screen.
okay. Hey, Buster. Let me see here. I've not been reading the chat, guys, so thank you for being so good. What they did was awful. So happy to find you. Your cracking cases. You're the best. Thank you, Kim Caldwell. I appreciate that. I hit the wrong comment there. It's going by kind of fast, and I even slowed down the chat, guys. Thank you guys for being so late and 442 people being here. We appreciate it. Okay, so we'll go on to the next thing. So because of people and the bullying and bashing that has happened in the true crime community, and we've all seen it, we, speaking as for me and my wife, have been under a lot of the bashing that has happened and know just how much harm it can cause. But there is a big, there is an issue right now that has happened and need to.
I'm just like, yeah.
Thank you, Tracy. I like that one. Okay, so this is serious and I want to talk
Yeah.
about this. So if anybody that's been following us for a long time, we had an open panel one night and Lisa's home life came on.
This has been a while back, but
It's a good while back. We had an open panel and we were talking about just I think it was just like a freestyle Friday thing, just talking. And Lisa's home life came on. We had emailed back and forth, but due to some people that claims of bashing and things, Lisa, it has been said, I've not heard 100% yet, but that she took her own life, um, which is the worst thing that could ever happen, and it breaks my heart.
oh, it does mine too. And after we heard it, I had sent her an email just to check on her to see, maybe I was hoping that I would get a
Hoping,
reply
yeah.
and that it was, not true, but so far I've not gotten anything back. So,
Do you want to read or talk about what you read that she left a note?
yeah, I saw on another creator's platform earlier that apparently she had left a note, and also I think a video that she had recorded um, before this happened, that she was wanting to get out there so that people would know why, I guess, that she did this. Um, that came from what I saw, it came from a family friend that had confirmed it, but
Yeah, I do believe this is accurate.
I do too.
Lisa, the last email we got from her, it was sad and I didn't know how to take it.
Right.
She had forwarded it to a
I
lot of
think
creators.
actually that it had been put in another creators community section, is what I heard tonight, that there was, it showed like the list of people that she sent it to.
Yeah.
She sent it to a bunch of different creators.
She came on panel and she was trying to start her own channel to and she had been working to do a tree lighting ceremony during Christmas for Summer Wells, and I think that it never happened due to some sort of situations that were going on at the time. um she was originally did videos of like
Dollar Tree hauls.
Dollar Tree hauls, stuff like that. She was a very kind person. I think that she was really reaching out um, for companionship, and I'm we're just as guilty for not answering everything back on timely fashion. I can't help but to feel bad that I didn't do more and be um, I guess more um, I don't know what's the word, more interactive with somebody. I didn't know the issues were happening. Didn't know that she was going through any kind of problems with people bashing her. I didn't have any idea. And that's the thing, though. It makes me think now that when people do reach out like that, take the time, and I've said it on my channel, be nice to somebody today. Treat them with respect. Tell them you love them. Because this right here, you could change that person's life that day from something so bad to something that you might have gave them a spark in their life by just being kind. This has to stop. And thank you for that new membership. I just saw that. But guys, yeah, that's a big problem. This doesn't ever need to happen. And the yeah, and we just and I want to say this. So we looked at her channel earlier today. We left a comment for her family and everything, but now the channel is gone. It's been
Yeah,
taken down.
I left the comment not even 2.5 hours ago, maybe, and I went back right before we started this live, and her channel is gone. It's been taken down. So,
Yes. Natasha or one of the mods, can you share the um, suicide prevention hotline, please? And I can do that too. I can look it up. If you have any issues or you need help with anything like that, or you're feeling any type of way like people are bullying up or you on you and ganging up on you, please reach out to somebody. Talk to somebody. Tell them what your problem is. Let them know. I think a lot of times people think, uh, you know, are reaching out, but they don't want to see people to know what they're going through mentally. Um, and that, that is, and I guess that's just pride a little bit because you don't want people to think you're hurting or you're desperate for a friendship, or that that these people actually affect people with what they say, and when they come and leave a comment that is so vile and so mean, I see them sometimes. Sometimes I don't even, I've contemplated on just not doing anything with comments anymore because there's some that YouTube holds for
review.
for review. Don't ever, if you have a channel, don't ever click on that one.
No,
Don't
don't do
click on
that.
that one. Some of the things aren't worth reading. People, what does it help to ever go over and try to say something to somebody, especially, I mean, if this woman, you could tell, was had a kind heart.
Oh yeah.
You could really tell. And if you go back, guys, if you don't know who she is, I can't remember which live it was. I need to look it up. It was an open panel. I think it's in the Alli will look it
Oh,
up real quick, and maybe I can share that in the chat right now. She was so kind, and I hope her family does get to the bottom of it. And they said that they will be seeking justice for her. That taking your own life is not the answer. It's not the answer. Uh, and I really, there's always somebody that will, thank you, Natasha, that will love you. Um, I don't know. I can't. The words are just escaping me right now. That will give you the love and show you that there is real companionship out there. There's real friends out there. There are people that care. There are people that care. Hey, Sandra Fondren, and I emailed you back tonight. I'm so sorry if I don't email on a timely fashion.
yeah, we are not the best
I am
at.
not the best at that. I have, when we have to answer the Cracking Cases platform, Messenger, and all that, it's a lot. Some days I just don't do it at all. Uh, I put family first. Some days I just don't. I don't want to even. I was bad about it in the beginning. I did, and that was probably I set a higher standard. I answered everything.
In the beginning, we were on top of
I
it.
stayed in my
We
phone
answered
constantly.
every comment, we answered every email. That was before we had the Instagram or the Facebook. Now they kind of fall by the wayside, and that's not on purpose.
People are like, "What's going on? Do you just not like me at all?"
Yeah, no, I promise you, it is nothing personal. You can ask anybody. We don't. I'm bad about it with text messages too. So
Yeah, guys, but
even with my just personal text messages, I'm bad about it. So
oh yeah, Cirillo, I believe she. I the person who did it though is the one who's going to be held accountable, who held the pen and filmed the child. This comment here, the I heard that it was one of the other members of their group's spy pen. I don't know whose it is, but yeah, that's true. There's culpability. You have to, it's just like in what is it, a co-conspirator to a crime, maybe. maybe that's what's going to happen. That's up to law enforcement. But just like that other creator I said today, and that's the reason I'm just not going to even talk about other creators' names or anything, because that's where problems start. But and I appreciate what he did today, though. Um, he said it's not like when somebody, it's like when somebody goes outside and fires a firearm at somebody else. He said, you know, people don't have to go press charges about that. Law enforcement investigates that automatically. Well, this was too was a Class C felony that happened. That child was under 13 in the state of Tennessee. That is a Class C felony to film a child under 13 in any situation. So, and for her to turn the comments off when they're always on that certain video
That's
before
the
they
first
knew.
thing that I said last night whenever we saw it. I told Cam, I said, they knew that this was wrong, that specific person, because the comments were turned off before the video was even live. And yeah.
Oh, okay. The MGL has a spy pen on her wish list. Well, maybe. See, well,
Maybe she'll get one.
maybe she'll get one. Oh, I don't know. But guys, I'm not going to stay on here a whole bunch of time tonight. I'm going to talk. I want to answer some people tonight. Just wanted to bring an update on her. That's why our description was not long and or anything tonight. I just wanted to bring up these issues. What else? What were we talking about? This is a big thing that I noticed. So I watched the interview room tonight on his breakdown of the interview with Hunter.
Yes.
And I did. I watched the whole thing. It was about 3 hours long. And there was a lot of things in that I found strange. And I watched the original one, and he's right. This has been out here the whole time. And I should have, when I said let's go back to the beginning, should have went back to the beginning and watched that too. Because regardless what anybody thinks of how things were handled with those interviews and everything, he did get them out there. He did come and do that. Hey, B. Laughlin, thank you for being a member. We appreciate you so much. And guys, don't feel pressured to ever become a member here. We treat everybody the same. If we release something to members, then following day we release it to everybody. That's just a little thank you we do for people going and doing that. And we know that not everybody can afford it, and we don't, we never push that on anybody to become a member or do anything for this channel, because that's not what's important. And I thanked the Glare last night because he said, I don't want any, do not send me any super chats or anything for the video he did last night showing and he didn't even show the video. Another creator today didn't even show the video because it's not right. And he said, I don't want any super chats, I don't want anything for it. He said, because this is wrong. He said, I want people to okay, Dan, it's because I'm not trying to jump around, guys. I'm so sorry I do that. Please forgive me. I read something. I watch it because I wanted to see the breakdown of that interview, because there's a lot being said in there by age.
That's an important interview.
Is Gray Hughes in here? I saw Gray. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Is he in here? Oh, hey, what's up, Gray? What's going on, buddy? Okay, so I watched that again. They were really, I want to say this. Alli, Leslie, all those people that were there during that interview were really pushing the milk issue. Were they not?
Yes, they were.
They were setting up for that. And, I find it hard to believe. Yes, the boy, he might have been telling the truth about some things, but there were a lot that were I didn't see that could be truthful. He said she was awake. She got out of the car first before I did. And they stopped and said, no, she wasn't. Remember, she's asleep. She was asleep. that milk from the very beginning of that interview, they were talking about the milk jugs. Um, it was, thank you, Natasha, for showing Gray Hughes. Guys, if you can go over there and subscribe to Gray. But there was a lot of things with that that I just didn't like. They asked, he did do a good job at one part with Alli. He said on a on a uh, from 1 to 10, do you think that was she alive you she pulled in here? And he said, now your son was in there with her. Uh, how she said, no, I think now that I think back about it, she might have been passed away. And he said, well, put it on a scale of 1 to 10. She said that she's 10, she's alive, 1, she's not. She said, well, 10, because now thinking that her son was in the truck the whole
And would have
time
been a witness.
and would have been a witness to it, then she automatically went to a 10 that she was okay till then. Um, there was a lot of things that he even called out that I was happy about, that uh and I'm not saying I'm happy with the whole situation and how things were handled through at the beginning of this. Don't mistake him what I'm saying. Uh but when he said that the Leslie woman was trying to control the narrative, and how the atmosphere calmed down after she left. And I've wondered this from the whole time. What is she doing there? Why is she answering for everybody? And when we're talking about timelines, you're taking it back to Walmart that happens 5 months earlier before even anything was summer. Big issues. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. There's a lot being said, and I'm not going to go over it all, but there's a lot being said. Oh, you found it, Natasha. Thank you so much.
That's what I was sitting over here trying.
Here's the link right here. Natasha, I don't know what we do without you
I
sometimes.
know. She's so much better than me.
This is the live, and guys, show support um for her. We'll take a moment of silence for Lisa. If you could watch this live, if you don't know who she was and you never saw her, she I think it was the first time she had came on panel with somebody. She chose our channel to do that. I was happy about that. There's a lot of people that have chose our platform the first time come on. This is a hard community to come, uh, show your face on and put yourself out there. So it takes a lot of guts sometimes to face these people, but because these people are critics in this genre. So watch this. Let's take a moment of silence, though. But we'll go watch this after we're done. We'll take about 30 seconds and just be quiet. And we'll say a little prayer for her. All right, dear Lord, if you, we just want to lift up Lisa and her family. Please let them know that if they ever have issues with feeling like they need to take their own life over a situation for other people's words, Lord, please let them reach out. Let there be somebody there that they can share how they're feeling with, and that might be able to help. There's so many ways to reach out and get help for these issues. Lord, just uh, let this stop. Let the bashing, let the tearing into people with words stop. The tongue is mightier than the sword, and it can be hurtful. But Lord, we lift up her family. We ask for peace in their hearts and that they can get justice and the people be held responsible for what they've done and said. In Jesus' name, pray, amen.
Amen.
Yeah, I just feel like that's necessary, guys. Hey, Gray, I don't know Haven't seen you in a while, bro. There, I don't know if you caught this from the beginning. I don't know if you just came in. We were just going over some little stuff, and I didn't want to take on uh, be justice for. I don't know what's going on, but we just wanted to talk about what happened uh, with Robin's daughter, and that it's not, it's a crime. It is what happened, and it's important that people are held responsible for that. Um, we kind of got drifted off to the wayside. I do understand what he's saying. If you go off onto another case, some people don't care about. There's so many other cases out here that deserve our time and effort. And he's being very truthful at what he's saying right now in the chat. I saw that. If you go off onto another case, sometimes people don't pay attention and they don't care, uh, and it's sad. I know that there is a lot of attention on this one right here on Summer's case because it did hit mainstream, nationwide, worldwide, uh, and there's a lot to do with it, and it is important too. But there are cases that don't see the light of day, that don't get any attention at all, and their families cry out for help, and nobody pays attention. So I do understand. I do understand. And I spoke about it a lot in the beginning, and a lot of the reasons I haven't been on schedule with doing the things like we used to is because I took time off, and we kind of got hit in a whirlwind
Oh yeah.
of crap through this case. So it is what it is.
Well, we're gonna get back on that, and we're gonna be getting back to doing our missing Monday and all
Yeah,
of that stuff.
that's a fact.
Um, we're definitely still wanting to look into the Richard Honaker case a lot too. That
Yeah,
one,
and it's not going to be just children's cases we're
no,
going to cover. There's some adult cases that are really big that we're going to cover. Uh, that are, well, not really big, but are really important. And the family is asking for help, and it's close to us too. Maybe we can be boots on the ground for it. Um,
that one just hit my heart very hard, and I
yeah,
feel like we need to do some work on that one.
yeah. That case, and actually, the wife. If you're not familiar with the Richard Honecker case that we're talking about, we covered it before. Um, his wife reached out to us, so I'm going to be speaking to her, and we're gonna
Well, we hope
hope if
she reached out to us once and we messaged her back, but I don't think she ever messaged us again.
That's true.
So,
All right, guys, I'm not going to blabber on. Thank you guys for showing your support tonight. It's late. It's 1:58 a.m. here where I'm at, so probably later where you're at. Well, maybe earlier. Probably earlier on the West Coast and Central Time. It's a little earlier for you. We love y'all. Thank you for your support. Thank you guys. And Gray, thank you for being real. You came over here and that's a good point that needs to be made. There's so many other cases that deserve it. And we were on a good roll early on with covering wide range of things, but you're right. A lot of them are not popular and don't get the attention they deserve. But it still doesn't give us the right to slow down on what's the right thing to do. You got anything to say?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything that we were going to cover.
It's not a lot. It's not a big deal. We're going to keep up with this. We're going to keep up with anything new. But if there's not nothing new to talk about, oh, there is something new to talk about. Let me not catch you off guard. So I watched the number drop when I said we're getting off here, but it's okay. There is something that just hit my mind. The glare. No, man, I apologize to you. I took away from your time. You were already live. There is something new. So the Andy situation that he talked about, I wanted to talk about this, and I don't know how it slipped my mind. The Andy situation. He said, I know for a fact his name was Andy, and he was around the property, and he was trying to touch the little kids, right? Oh, thank you so much. I just saw an awesome comment. And I keep getting off subject. Okay. All right. So the Andy situation. He says there's an Andy guy roaming the property that's trying to touch the little kids, and I thought from the beginning when he said this, he said somebody camping. So I thought Jackie Dobbs immediately because that's who was camping around the property. Who did have an issue with Andy and Jody Sue
Correct.
because of camping over property lines. I thought he said, "Well, I know it started with an A. I know the name started with an A." Uh, so I was like, Jay and Jackie, Jack, maybe he. But then he said, "I'm not going to call Andy a drug dealer, but that's what he is." Uh, at the very beginning of this, you know, there's we know who the only Andy is in that area. I I'm not. There's a lot being said in that, and I'm not going to say any of my opinions. You're going to take it for what you want. I can't. There's a lot of people you can't curb the way they think in this community. Take it for what you want. Go listen to it yourself and make your decision then. But there is a lot being said there, uh, a whole lot, and so we know who's named Andy in this case. You have Hunter's dad, Andrew. You have Jody Sue's Andy. You have
Candace's
Candace's
ex-husband
ex-husband,
and
Andy.
her son.
Yeah, and her son.
But 3 of the 4 of those Andrews or Andys are not local.
Not local. One's in New York. He did visit with Jose during that whole thing, but they left and Jose stayed, and then there's that issue, and then you have Andy that's right across the road. Why Helen Fackler? That's a very good point, and I don't think it needs to be looked over too. This is a very big point too.
Yeah.
This is a big thing.
And why be so nosy? We did see that interview, and I feel like in both of the interviews, Leslie was in a lot of ways speaking for Alli.
Oh, she straight turned the attention away from everything that he was asking her.
Well, I mean, she would even answer questions, and he brought attention to it in the live tonight. How he would ask a question about Hunter, and Leslie would even answer it.
Oh no. Computer's gonna die.
Oh no. I haven't had that happen in a while.
Yeah. Oh no. Please reach. Sorry guys, trying to plug up my computer. Go ahead out. What you were saying.
Oh, I was just saying that even whenever he would be asking Alli a question about Hunter, then Leslie would answer for her, which was odd.
Kim Holmes, and there has been comments made. There is a weird situation going on with comments like that. This comment right here that was made in the chat just now. Did I just unplug that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, there has been weird comments made. Like he was the last one to see her Summer's body. That was a big one. I found that very odd. There's been explanations made about it, and I just don't see why you would say something like that. We heard it from the one of the party's own mouths that they said that. Rosemary and Time said, "What's the story on Leslie?" So I heard, and this is not fact, that they're not friends anymore. But who would know that unless somebody's online speaking to them? That Leslie and Alli aren't friends anymore. She was very, very involved at the beginning. She was on interviews with Unmasked. She was on interviews with the Interview Room. She was there for. She was there during all the TBI, FBI interrogations or interviews with H. Hunter. There, she was there through a lot of it, and she was helping to keep a certain story online and make sure people didn't go off of it. You could tell that. And we didn't understand why. And it was pointed out tonight when he did it himself. He said, I paid attention and I saw that was happening. Uh, they didn't want to talk about whenever the timeline was getting discussed, and they came back 3 times. TBI, FBI came back 3 times to lock down that timeline that Hunter on his timeline, which is a big issue. Why come back 3 times? Okay, now they talked about Catch 22 in that instead of that Candace had went to Catch 22 instead of the hippie house
and discount tobacco.
That's not true. I've been to every place on the timeline, spoke to people that worked at the places on the timeline, and they are correct. She was there at all those places. Catch 22 is another head shop like the hippie house. Tennessee has not legalized marijuana yet. They have only they sell CBD in those head shops. It's not.
So when you hear people talk about how whenever you walk into the hippie house and it smells like marijuana, that's not marijuana that they are smelling. That is what is it? It's CBD and I guess Delta 8. Yeah.
I don't even know that Delta 8 is legal. Well, it might be.
I think it is legal over there. I know that CBD is, though. And they do have CBD edibles there. We saw that. They had a bunch of different products like that. But actual weed is not legal in the state of Tennessee yet.
What does that mean? Goose Lagoon? Do you understand what she's saying?
I can't read it.
I don't understand. Why did Hunter's puppy end up back at the house that day? I still haven't heard why on that. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, in my state, which is right over the state line, because where the Wells live in Tennessee, we have the state line that there's actually one city, Bristol, where Hunter said he went with his girlfriend to that park. Sits on the state line between Virginia and Tennessee. In my state, it's legal. Over there, it's not. Marijuana is not legal.
Well, it's legal to an extent.
To an extent, medical use is legal.
Well, yeah. And it's just a citation if you get caught with under a certain amount here.
Yeah, kidnapping.
For personal use.
I don't. I'm trying to understand what you're saying, Goose Lagoon. We understand that that's not legal either, and nobody is saying it is. But right now, we don't have the facts about anything. We don't know what happened. Well, we have we all have our own opinions, and through the things that we've seen, and the people that are neighbors, and that with. I'm not going to go into it, but if you've seen what we talked about, pretty much where our belief stands. But regardless of any of that, this, I found that very awkward about the whole H situation, and I was going somewhere with that, but that comment made me go off. Oh, she said, "Sorry, I'm late to party, sir." I might have took you wrong then. Sorry. Get a little bent out of shape at 2 a.m. reading, so I didn't understand. All right, so I'm sorry about that if I took that wrong. Yeah, just watch it, guys. Watch the interview. Take your own opinion for what it is, because I watched a lot of the comments going on. The story about Leslie is she was a former nurse. Working at Walmart or part-time at Walmart, and how she became so involved in the case, speaking for people. I don't understand. There was also a narrative push that when they said that Alli said, well, I invited them to come up on the porch and talk, and the grandmother there said, no, they zoomed out of here. Remember, they took off real fast.
Yeah, trying to get them out of there.
Didn't want them placed anywhere around there. There's a lot being said. Let's go off to let's go back to the beginning and let's look at everything there, because that's where our answers will lie. I don't know how much we can push that. There's nothing going on right now that's going to answer what happened uh, to Summer. That all of our details and things to be looking at is back at the beginning. Um, with what happened around those, those crucial time frames right there, and what happened. And it's sad. The longer we go, the more weather that hits, the more snow, the more evidence, especially if it's outside or in an area like that, out in the wilderness is out there that we've been in. If something's up there, the more that this happens. And that's the thing. That's the difference, guys. When you go out and you say you're searching for a child, you have to go to places that nobody else is going, that you wouldn't think people would go. And there's a lot of people that are behind the scenes that have hit these places and been places that you could not imagine, and been in the deepest brush and up on the highest parts of these mountains and places that nobody else would go. That's searching. That's getting out and looking, and not screaming at people, not harassing people. And there is people, I do know this, there's rumors of a child that lives on Ben Hill Road that has seizures from loud noises and epilepsy, pretty much from Jody Sue actually told me this,
Mm-hmm.
and said that when people come out and do that, that it causes them to seize and have issues. If that's true, that's wrong, and no wonder that the local came out and said, "Hey, uh, y'all need to move on." There's there's a difference between uh, searching and straight up harassing, in my point of view. But you do you, boo. You do you, boo boo.
Oh gosh.
It is what it is, guys. I love you. Let's pray. Let's get out of here. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for what you do in our lives every day, even when we don't even see you working. We know you are. God, please protect these children. Let us do our due diligence for cases that people might not even know about, that might not get the attention that they deserve. Let there be answers for each and every one of those families, and for those people that are just not here with us right now. Um, Lord, we ask that the issues that have happened with people bashing people stop, because it does hurt people deeper than anybody could ever imagine. Um, let's help people, and let's tell people we love them. Let's go the extra mile, and let's keep integrity in everything that we do. Uh, God, we can't begin to thank you for what you do in our lives, and what you've delivered us from. Each and every one of us have a testimony. Let us use it, uh, just to show your grace and your mercy on each and every one of us. Lord, please look out for these children. Put a hedge of protection around them. Put a hedge of protection around the adults that are missing. And let's put people in the right place at the right time to find answers. And let's bring the people that are responsible for these heinous acts to justice, regardless of who they are. And, everybody has to be held responsible for the things we do. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Guys, that's it for me tonight. Sorry I rambled a little bit. It is what it is. I'm not perfect. We'll get on here and talk. We're human beings. I don't claim to be something I'm not, that's for sure. We're all sinners and we all fall short. Let's just be better tomorrow than we were today. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
We will see you on the next one.